Hello, my name's James from plumberparts.co.uk and we've teamed up with Dyno today to give you a few brief tips about how to prevent hard water from ruining your plumbing system. Hard water is a problem for a lot of houses in the UK and it often manifests itself in the kettle by scaling it up and also on shower controls and on the bath taps. But more importantly, it can scale up the insides of pipes. You can prevent hard water from causing any damage to your plumbing system and also show you how to find out whether the water that's coming into your house is hard in the first place. Remember, if you're not happy with doing any of the preventative measures that we outline in this guide, then it's best you get a qualified professional like a dyno engineer to come in and do it for you. Anyway, let's have a look at what we can do and I hope you enjoy the video. The first and easy method I'd recommend is to have a water softener installed. This one's been installed under the kitchen sink and you'll often find them here for two reasons. Number one, that's where the cold water main comes in that needs to feed one side of the water softener. And number two, you need to make sure that there's an unsoftened outlet on the system somewhere. And usually that's the kitchen sink cold tap. So that's why this has been installed here. Now the principle for how water softeners work is very simple. Calcium and magnesium that you find in hard water is traded inside the resin chamber of a water softener for sodium ions. That's why you need to put salt in the brine chamber, and it's also where the common misconception comes that the water that comes out of a water softener is high in sodium, whereas actually it's really quite low. Depending on the hardness of the water, every few days the resin chamber of the water softener will reach capacity. Therefore, usually at night it will regenerate using the brine solution that you've made with your salt. If we wanted to have a look at the schematic of how a water softener works, we'd have our cold water main coming in like this with our stopcock, and then our unsoftened water supply going to our kitchen tap. Then we'll have our water softener. Our hard water comes in here, is rinsed through our brine chamber and traded for sodium ions and then off to our system. This valve here is normally closed, but in the event of there being a problem with the water softener, you can shut these two valves here, then open this one and reinstate a normal hard water supply until your water softener has been fixed. The next way to reduce the effects of hard water on your plumbing system is to install a magnetic inline filter like the one we've got here. The way they work is simple. The magnesium and calcium particles, before they enter the magnetic field, are of an irregular shape, like a flake kind of shape. And what happens when they enter this magnetic field, they get moved around to a point where it makes them into a more spherical shape. Now that means rather than removing and getting rid of the calcium and magnesium like a water softener does, they change the shape of it so it doesn't actually cling to the internal components of your plumbing system. So how do you find out how hard the water is coming into your house? Well, it's very easy. You can go online and buy one of these water hardness test kits. You can also buy these from lots of plumbing and DIY wholesalers as well. Most of them work in the same way, whereby you have a test strip that you dip in the water for a few seconds and then match up the colour of the kit with the indicator on the side of the test kit. On this test kit, if my indicator goes really dark at this end, it means that my water is really hard. And if we go back over to this end here and it stays at a lighter colour, it means that my water is nice and soft. When you buy a new water softener, they'll usually send a one-time test kit as well, so then you can find out how hard your water is and set your water softener up in the right way. Now we're really lucky here because we've actually got a three-way tap. On this tap here we've got an unsoftened cold supply, and on this tap here we've got a hot and cold softened supply. And I hope that also allays any fears as to how good the water pressure is going through a water softener. The great thing about this is that we can now test how well this water softener works. What I'm going to do is fill up 2 glasses of water, one with our softened supply on the back here, one with our unsoftened supply here, and then we're going to do the test on here and then see what the difference in hardness is between the two. On this particular test kit, all I need to do is leave each strip submerged in the water without moving it for 3 seconds. Then we'll lay it out and have a look and see what we get. 1 and 2 and 3. So then if we look at our softened water first, we can see that it is really soft. It's showing it as being very soft at the moment. We know our water softener is doing a great job. We've got hardly any magnesium and calcium particles in that. And now if we look at our hard water side, we have to twist it right round here as well to get a match. I mean, we're looking at this water being very hard when it hasn't gone through our water softener. So there you go, you've learned what hard water is, you've seen what it can do to your system, and you've also seen how you can find out whether the water that's coming into your system is hard in the first place. Remember, if you're not happy with doing any of the preventative measures that we've outlined in this video, then it's best you get a qualified professional like a dyno engineer to come in and do it for you. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye bye.